afternoon, everyone. First at 4, a story making national headlines. A Valley mom behind a YouTube channel with hundreds of millions of views, accused of abusing her 7 adopted kids.
Those kids starring in her videos with more than 240 million views, almost 800,000 subscribers, and what police say she did to those children is quite disturbing.
Team 12's Bianca Bono joins us live from the Alert Center with the latest facts, including information on how much money this mother may have been making through the YouTube channel. Bianca?
Well, guys, at this hour, Machelle Hobson's popular YouTube channel has been taken down. We're also hearing from the Department of Child Services about contact they had with the children right before their mom's arrest. And after contacting agencies in Arizona, Nevada, and Texas, it appears that Hobson does not have a criminal history. Hobson arrested on March 15th after Maricopa police say she would pepper spray and beat her kids, forcing them to take ice baths and locking them in closets without food, water, or access to the bathroom for days at a time. This while she was also forcing them to act in YouTube videos. According to Social Blade, a site that estimates how much money a channel is earning, she was making somewhere between $9,000 and $142,000 a month. According to DCS, Hobson's kids were removed from her home the day before she was arrested. A spokesman says they're unable to tell us about Hobson's adoption process and whether she had any prior interactions with DCS. YouTube has since terminated her channel. Now, Hobson's 2 biological sons were also arrested for failing to report the abuse. They have since been released from jail. Documents say Hobson's biological daughter is the one who notified police. And we're continuing to dig deeper into these disturbing allegations. We'll bring you updates as we get them. For now, we're live in the Alert Center. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
All right, pretty disturbing stuff, Bianca. Thanks so much. I mean, I think it's hard for parents and anyone, even if you're not a parent, to fathom all these charges that are going on.
Right, but I mean, you know, it's kind of the world we live in where you can actually make a living off of documenting everyday things in your home on like Instagram and YouTube, and obviously, you know, that love of money. I mean, we heard Bianca said $142,000 a month. Some people will never make that.
And Bianca, before we let you go, I know the 2 sons. Were those court documents that you read, essentially, it almost sounds like they were pretty much in the know about the abuse. I know a lot of information hasn't been released. What more can you tell us about the allegations that they made along with the sister?
It's unclear at this point what their level of knowledge was in terms of the abuse these kids were enduring, but we do know we've seen them in some of the YouTube videos this mother was making on this channel. But at this point, we're still waiting on more information in terms of just how much they knew about the abuse.
All right, Bianca, thanks so much. Boy, just so disturbing on so many levels. It sure is.